In this video, I'm going to show you probably the single most valuable thing you're going to do for local search. Please do not race through this exercise. It's actually kind of enjoyable. What we're going to do is what's known as local keyword research. We're going to find the words and phrases people are actually typing into their computer to find the products and services you sell. And then we're going to organize those words in order of the most profitable words and phrases from the top to the bottom. Now, we need these keywords for a variety of reasons. First of all, there are three things that will determine whether or not your business shows up on the first page and at the top of the first page. They include distance, how far are you from the location where people are searching, prominence, which means how many places on the internet is your business listed, and the third one, which we're talking about here, is relevance. So when someone types in a word or a phrase, we need to make sure that our business listing has those words and phrases all throughout it. Now, where are we going to use these words and phrases? We're going to use them in our category selection. All of the sites ask you to select a category. We're going to use them there. We're going to use them in all of the copy we write, business descriptions, everything. We're going to use them when we put our photos together in our photo captions, our photo naming. And we're also going to use it, even though this is beyond this course, you're going to want to use these words in your website, and this will all make sense. So what we're trying to do is to become the most relevant business listing on the internet when people are typing in certain words and phrases. So here we are. I am at the Google AdWords tool, and you can get to it by clicking on the link right below this video. Now, once you do, you're going to type in the words and phrases that you think your customers are using. You have to start somewhere, so you have to use the words and phrases you think your customer is using. Now, in the case of POSTECH Appliance Services, they're an appliance repair company. They do refrigerator repair, and I could type in all kinds of other things, but I'm just going to see what words and phrases Google provides for me. All right, so that said, let's click on the search button and see what happens. All right, this is pretty quick. So you'll see a little line here that indicates these are the words I selected, and everything below it is Google's suggestion, and we're just going to kind of play with this in a minute. Now notice I also looked at broad matches, which means we're going to see all kinds of different words and phrases included, like Maytag and Amanda and different things. So we're just going to have to play it by ear what really makes sense. So to start with, under appliance repair, if I come across, I see there's 673,000 searches a month on Google for that term. And if you want to learn more, you can go over this little icon and read what it means exactly. And for refrigerator repair, there's 368,000 searches. Now, don't freak out with these numbers because, for example, if you sell $10 million diamond rings and you get 50 searches a month, that's a high number. On the other hand, if you're doing appliance repair, you're going to see numbers in the hundreds of thousands. This isn't about how high or low the number is. It's about how the numbers are relative to each other. So we're going to look at these numbers from highest to lowest. Now, if I come down here to where all of these other keywords are, let me scroll down just a little bit here. I can click on local monthly searches. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these words and phrases with respect to the local monthly searches. And again, you can look at what this all means here, but let's just go ahead and do it. So when I click on it once, Google will organize all of these words from most search to least search. So let's just look at these numbers. Appliance repair. Now, the A is an extraneous word. It's not all that important, but I see the term appliance repair with 550,000. That's huge. And it looks like, according to Google, under that term, it's the most searched for term. I see repair refrigerator or refrigerator repair, and we're looking at 301,000. So as it just so happens, I pick the two most highly searched for terms, which isn't always surprising when you look at that. But let's go down and see what else shows up. Look at this one. All right, here's our first real gem, dishwasher repair. Now notice it has nothing to do with appliance repair or refrigerator repair. Well, it actually does, but it's dishwasher repair, and there's 246,000 searches for that. Now, from what I'm learning, dishwasher repair is going to be my third most profitable, or at least third most searched for keyword. I can come down, GE appliances, washer repair, not washing machine repair. There is washing machine repair, but washer repair has 135,000. and washing machine 90,000. So I just learned something really valuable here. I learned that if I want to attract people to have their washing machine repaired, I'm going to use the word washer because there are tens of thousands of more people searching for washer than washing machine. And then you have dryer repair down here at 90,000. All right. The next thing I want to do for our local search is I want to make sure that when people type in these words and phrases that it actually brings up a map on Google. If it doesn't bring up a map, that's not necessarily a good thing because we're going to be selecting these categories and they need to pull up a map. Now, it's not a bad thing either because just because it doesn't pull up a map doesn't mean this is a bad keyword. I'd make a note and use this keyword on your website so that you can move your website up when a map does not show up. So let's just click on some of these words and see what happens. If I click on, let's just click on dishwasher repair. Does it bring up a map? Check it out. It does bring up a map. Now notice it brings up a map where I live on Maui. When you click on it, it'll bring up a map of where you live. So I noticed that dishwasher repair brings up a map. Let's try refrigerator repair, and it also brings up a map. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to make a note of that. So let's go down and see if there's something that doesn't bring up a map. Let's see. Now, I could use refrigerator, 40,000, but you know, Joe Pose doesn't sell used refrigerators. So this word is irrelevant. Appliance center, this is irrelevant to him. It doesn't mean anything. Look at Amana Parts. Now, this has nothing to do with what PoseTech does. Very little, actually. They do sell Amana Parts, but it's such a small part of their business, it's not really relevant. But let's click on it and see if it brings up a map. Now, notice it does not bring up a map. So if you have a keyword that you think is really cool and it doesn't bring up a map, put that word aside for the time being. I'm going to show you how to really do some magic with it in a minute. But it's a good indicator that maybe I don't want to use this keyword for my local search. All right, so after I go through this and I look at the number of searches over in the monthly section, I click on the keywords and see if it brings up a map, and I look at these words in order of most searched for to least. I'm going to go over to my DIY Local Search Marketing Manual, and I'm going to type those words in. And this is the area I just play with. I'm just going to type in the word and phrases and see what comes up, and I'm going to click whether or not it brings up a map. Now, this gives me something to look at. There's 12 or 13 different places you can type in words and see what's going on, and they're not really in any particular order. Notice here with appliance parts, there were 550,000, but it didn't bring up a map. And appliance parts, even though there's that many people searching for it, it's not really one of the more profitable things that PoseTech Appliance does. The more profitable things include appliance repair, refrigerator repair, etc. Now, after you've done your research, on the bottom of that keyword page, here's what I want you to do, and this is really important. Take your keywords and list them in order of the most profitable keyword at the top down to the 8th, if you have as many as 8 in that order. Now, the reason for this is sites like Google will give you up to 5 places to put your keywords, and it's their category selection. Bing calls it something else. Yahoo calls it categories. Every site you go to will ask you what category are you in. Now, in Joe Pose's case with PoseTech Appliance, his primary category is going to be appliance repair. Now, that category may not be available exactly as appliance repair when you go to these sites because they will limit you to certain options oftentimes. But at least Joe knows in order what his 8 most profitable keywords are. They're appliance repair, refrigerator repair, dishwasher, washer, and dryer repair. These 5, and then stove repair, GE appliance repair, and appliance parts. Now, the reason it's so important down here that you put them in order is after you fill this information out, when you go down to sites like Google, for example, after the information is filled out, and you look at your category selection, let's see, where is that? You notice how those keywords are going to show up in order of most important, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, etc. All right, so that's why you want them in order. The other thing to note is that a lot of these sites will only give you the opportunity to select one category. So you're going to know that this is your most profitable category. Go for that. All right. Now let me show you something else. This is a little bonus. This is something we do in our advanced program. Just because a word or phrase does not bring up a map doesn't mean it's bad. Let me show you another example. I'm going to do a search for car rental. All right, and let's just do a search right here and see what comes up. Now this is fascinating, and these are really great gems. And let's click on local monthly searches in order of most to least. And if you click on it twice, it'll do least to most, and et cetera, et cetera. But what I want to do is I want to come down, and if I click on rental car, for example, you see it brings up a map. All right, that's really cool. That's fine. But I want to come down here to cheap car rental. 450,000 searches. This is huge. This is an enormous number. And if I click on it, it doesn't bring up a map. Now that could be a real downer for somebody if they go, wow, what a great word, but it doesn't bring up a map. Let me show you something. If you type in the city, and in this case, I'm going to type in Fort Myers. All right, whoops, let's leave that space out of there. You will see that it does bring up a map. Now, most people that are renting cars are going to type in the city name when they rent a car. Now notice here that all of this area, and there are hundreds of businesses that rent cars, when someone types in cheap car rental, which is a fantastic keyword, notice how Regal Car Rental, both of their locations, show up on the first page with an average of 5-star reviews, 34 reviews and 37 reviews on the first page. Now most car rental companies would just go right past this word because just the word cheap car rental doesn't bring up a map. But if you type in the city name and it brings up a map, Holy Toledo, this is a gem. Now the fellow that runs Regal Car Rental is a customer of ours, and he's using a lot of our review systems, and he's doing everything he needs to correctly to dominate his market. And this is one of the little tricks we showed him how to do for his business, and maybe you can do the same for yours. It's that powerful. It's that important. All right, so go through your keywords. Go ahead and list them in order of, let's go back up here again. Play with them, put the numbers. Does it bring up a map? If it doesn't bring up a map, you know the trick. And then really, really importantly, list them in order. Order is super important here because when you get to these sites, you want to know what are the most important in order. Now, you're going to use these keywords in your category selection, as I mentioned. You're going to use them when you put your photographs up. You're going to use them in all of your description text, and you can use them in your website. This is the most important thing you're going to do in this program. So please take your time, do it right, get these words in the exact order you need. And I guarantee you, your competitors are not doing this. They're not going to be showing up for the most prominent words that people are searching for, and you will, because you're going to know what those words and phrases are.